Come on, baby. Yes! It's about fucking time. Holy fucking shit. God damn it. I hate fucking XSplit. Fucking kidding me right now. I do a fucking test run for God knows how long. You know, come back a few hours later, right when I need it to work right, it wants to be a piece of shit. Story of my life. Great. And now everyone I told to fucking show up, they probably sat there for 15 minutes going, well, I guess nothing's here, and then fucking left. God fucking damn it. Oh well, I'll still start the show anyway. I swear. This is the kind of shit that makes me want to punch babies. Punch. Hard. Babies. News. I wonder if there's like a news status. I always wondered. Daily news. There. Create my own fucking category. Like that shit. Okay, now this one. Now this is gonna be. Oh my god, guys. Okay, those just jumping in. Just stand by, as usual. Nothing fucking works when you need it to. You know. You know. All I ask is for Oh my god, dude. I can't even get things to work when they were just working. Not even 3 hours ago. Wow. That's fucking great. Just stand by, guys, for a moment. Twitch is being fucking stupid. And before that, my XSplit was fucked up. So I had to reboot, then I had a Windows update. It turns out, because Microsoft doesn't like to tell you that they're going to install an update anymore. Unless you change a fucking setting, which no one cares. And I can't get the fucking thing to come off of Battlefield Hardline, because, I mean, what's the point of it working when you need it to, right, guys? What's the point? Am I right? Alright. There we go, finally. For fuck's sakes. Whew. Jesus. Let me post on Facebook real quick. Dude. I swear if everything fucking crashes again, I'm gonna seriously, you're gonna hear me put my fucking fist through the goddamn monitor if it breaks again, if it shuts off again. Actually, no, you wouldn't hear it because it'd be shut off, which is the whole point. I'm fucking pissed. Oh god. Whoo, woosah. Yeah, excuse my extremely loud fucking typing. I love this mechanical keyboard. Great thing about mechanical keyboard. Responsive, works perfect for gaming. Sucks when you're doing streaming. It completely fucking sucks. Okay. Alright. Again, I know there's one or two just joining now. Thanks for being patient. I did say 8 o'clock, and no, I'm not oblivious to the fucking time. I just had some difficulties with everything, as usual. Yeah. I mean, it's not enough that I don't have a Valentine. No, I'm kidding. Alrighty. Okay. Cross fingers. Is it working? Ah, sweet Jesus. Hi, guys. What's going on? I'm Cardi. And I'm about to do the formal intro, if you will, to 4TW Live. So, yeah, it's just going to be me today. So, woo! Everything's just working great. Love it. Love it. Let me just test the sound. Anybody in Twitch watching, can you just give me a message, say something, say it's working, can you hear me? Because my confidence in everything at this point is down the fucking toilet. So I want a confirmation, hopefully from somebody. Anybody. Bueller. Fuck. Matt said he was going to watch, but fuck, he probably isn't. Oh well. Okay, well, pardon the... There might be a slight echo for a second. Just plug your ears or some shit. I need to hear if I can hear me. Okay. Yep, okay, good. Perfect. Wow. I was so hyped and excited, and then when, it's like, when you're, it's just the principle of it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Alright. Welcome to 4TW Live, where news and everything that has to do with gaming and whatnot is just, we just make it so much more better and exciting for everybody. Well, as you can see, I'm just here by myself. This is Cardi. I'm actually taking over 4TW Live for today. And yeah, Mario, he's got a life. He's got a, wife and everything. And of course, Admiral does too, but he's sick actually. He's sick as a dog, so I guess it'll just be me today. Boy, I hope I don't let you guys down. So let's get started. All right, well, a couple things in news to get us started today. First off, I just want to say that if you haven't noticed yet, a game came out a few days ago called Evolve. And let me tell you guys something. This game is starting to look pretty impressive. It's honestly, I think this is going to be one of those games where, first off, it came out on the 10th, just a few days ago. I mean, a lot of the reviews have been pretty good, occasional glitches here and there, but for the most part, it's solid and a lot of fun from what I'm hearing. Yeah, I mean, some of the complaints are just, again, glitches and, multiplayer. There's a few things here and there they got to work out, but, for the most part, this is one game that you may want to actually put on your list. I see these ratings up here, and like IGN is giving it real high, and Steam is real low. Now, keep in mind, Steam, the reason why it's so low is because typically with computer games that are, usually they start out on console, end up on computer, or in this case, it happened all at the same time. There's always going to be more problems on the computer side, it's in the beginning for just about any game. So that's to be expected. So I wouldn't let that worry you too much. But yeah, check that out for sure. I have a lot of friends already playing it, so it's a hell of a lot of fun. You could either be a monster or a hunter, so I mean, can't go wrong there. Alright, well, next thing, we'll switch it up a little bit to still staying within gaming. As a lot of people have, we've mentioned in our previous shows, and a lot of people may be aware of this, but just yesterday, Nintendo released the new 3DS XL. Now, new meaning it's 3DS XL as you know it, but as we mentioned in our previous one of our previous episodes, it's faster, starts up quicker with games rather, and it's just a better, more memory and just better performance all around. They're able to provide a lot more as far as feature wise and so on and so forth. So just to give you another glimpse of some of the features, and again, this is just a kind of a quick overview, but more or less to let you know that it is out. It came out yesterday, on Friday, so it's definitely something. If you don't have, I would suggest if you do have a 3DS XL or 3DS, what have you, I may want to take advantage of the trade-up offers that GameStop is offering, because that'd probably be the best way to go. And and as far as if this is worth getting, I would say absolutely yes. I mean, for the simple fact that not just because of the enhancements of memory and this and that and the other, some of the features that come with it, like battery life improvement, the further amiibo support with the NFC, which is already on it, but it's a little bit different, a little bit better. The 3D is way better because it actually has the tracking option they added, which is nice. So the 3D option isn't just a blurry piece of shit like everybody else experienced, thus far. So I would say if you're asking if it's worth it, go for it. Definitely go for it. With Nintendo, you can't go wrong. So that's what I would suggest on that matter. All right. Let's see what next. Well, I think we'll go ahead and just keep everything in the same context as far as gaming goes. But to be honest, I mean, there hasn't been a whole lot of gaming news. We did touch on the fact that there was a Nintendo Direct not too long ago, so that has actually apologizing again. Me and Mario, we did a whole episode, man, and it was a pretty good episode, and we just totally. Not we, but I totally fucked up. I should have tested. It's funny. I ran all those fucking tests today to make sure everything works. And right when it comes down time, everything fucks up. So even when I plan ahead, I'll be alright. I just gotta remind myself, technology is not always reliable. Let that be a lesson to you people. Anyway. So, yeah, as far as gaming news, like the Nintendo Direct, there was a lot of things we talked about in it. One thing, just something I wanted to mention about was one of the games. My son, especially along with a lot of people I know, love Kirby, love all the Kirby games that have come out. And there's actually a Kirby game that's coming out, which is more like... It kind of gives you that feel almost like Epic Yarn, which if you liked the Epic Yarn, it was pretty cool. This one's called Kirby's Rainbow Curse, and it looks like claymation. Gives you that claymation kind of feel. I'll show you here. You'll see it's pretty cool. I mean, and you get to utilize the touchscreen a little bit more, which which is kind of interesting gameplay feature. You trace where you go to and so forth. And I gotta say, if anybody ever sees these games and think, oh, it's some kiddie shit or whatever, and reserve your opinion until you actually try it. Because fortunately, I have a kid who likes these kind of games, so I get a chance to try them out through him. But even if I didn't, and if I would probably be a little stereotypical, I'd say, it's a bunch of kiddie crap. But man, these games are addicting. They are super addicting and somewhat challenging too. And they're fun, and there's a little bit of replayability to these games, these Kirby games. So again, another Kirby game coming out, and I actually had the release date, but it totally slipped my mind, but it's here we go. So let's see. Yeah, it was released in Japan, that's right. So February 20th, so it's right around the corner. Yeah, that's right, because my son was like reminding me about it. So yeah. So next week, guys, look for that. speaking of coming up here, there was one other thing, and I think I must have exited out. Well, switching gears here from gaming to movies, and entertainment industry, if you will. Now, as some of you may or may not know, the Oscars are actually coming up. There we go. It's just a little info for you on the 22nd. Now, they were saying that there's a lot. As usually, Oscars are always Oscars, and I'll be honest, I'm not a huge Oscar person. I know a lot of people do the parties, and they really follow it like a religion kind of thing, and I don't know, man. It's just a little too fixed for me, to be honest. But one thing I am actually happy about and looking forward to, and it's just more of an after thing once it's actually over with and they've announced the winners. My hopes is I hope that of all the winnings, okay, I'm hoping Birdman comes out with some Oscars, because let me tell you, that was a great movie. I just saw it not too long ago. And if you haven't seen Birdman, you got to go see it. That's like, it doesn't even have to be for a date movie or anything. Just go see it. If you have to see it by yourself, so be it. It's just see it while it's in it's a kind of movie you do want to see in theaters, to be honest, because these days, people like, Matt, Admiral Jackass, and others, they invest a lot of money into these theaters. Home theaters, they get their own projection screen, and trust me, that's great, and I wish to do the same thing in the future. But sometimes nothing replaces good old, movie theater experience, and granted, it's one of those things, and it's actually the topic I'm going to go into today, because I felt this is a topic that could kind of be a solo topic, because we had a lot of other topics lined up for this show, but since Mario and Admiral Jackass couldn't be here, I decided I'm going to go ahead and pick a main topic that I think I could talk about with you guys, and it would be something that isn't out of the realm of needing others opinions added into the conversation, if you will. At least not during. You get what I'm fucking saying. Anyway, so again, the main topic for today is going to be discussing movie theaters, movie experience. Is it worth going to the movies anymore these days, or would you rather, what are your options? Okay, so we'll start first off with, the general question is it worth going? Okay, so the answer is yes. Okay, now the reasons why, I'll get to specifics in a second. So let's just talk about first what I was just mentioning about with Admiral and having a home theater set up. Okay, so which I would say, what would be your alternative if you're deciding I'm not going to go to the movies anymore? What are your alternatives? So you have some options. You could actually invest. You're not investing. Granted, your entire, half of your paycheck or half of your paychecks for the year or anything like that. It's not a ridiculous amount of money we're talking about. You can actually build a really decent home entertainment system that gives you that same theater experience. I'm talking sound and everything. You can have all that in a reasonable price. I mean, I'm talking anywhere from first off, the projector. The projector is probably one of the main components. Which that pricing on it, depending on what you're going for, but generally speaking, it's anywhere between $600 to $1,000 for the projector. The sound and speaker setup, you're probably spending again another between $500 and $1,000, and that's including the receiver. The receiver being the larger portion of it, or half, if you will. So I'd probably say actually more to $1,000, maybe $1,100, and again, half that being the receiver, the other half being the speakers and whatnot, and the screen is very important, and of course, having the right room. You want to make sure you have the proper lighting. Make sure you have, blackout curtains if you're in an area where there's, too much light. You definitely want to invest in that because, again, you want that movie theater experience in your home. And then there's also the accessories, and I say accessories like they're pretty much optional, but you could get your own popcorn, air popcorn machine, just even with its own, little wheelie, little glass in case, and it says popcorn on the outside, the whole 9 yards. Those aren't actually too expensive. You can find those for like $100 to $200, and get that same kind of air popcorn that it's just a different taste than something out of a microwave. So there's now, before we move off this part of the topic here, when it comes to a movie theater setup, okay, one piece of huge advice I would say to give to anybody is, God, please do not try to do it on your own. It's better to get either someone that has done it, set up before, or has set it up before, or knows what they're doing to help you, or simply hire somebody. One way or another, you need to do one of the two. Because let me tell you, there's a lot of things you're not going to think about. Aligning the projector correctly, putting it in the right position, making sure the screen's in the right position. I mean, there's a lot of things. The sound, especially, setting up the receiver and then calibrating the sound. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into it. So you want to make sure that, you just hire somebody if push comes to shove. Okay? Don't try to do it on your own. This isn't one of those things where you could just, wing it. You can't wing it, trust me. So there's that. So that's that part of the home entertainment setup. Now, any other alternatives? I mean, if you really are just, you really don't want to go that far and you just kind of want something decent at home, then I would say, I would say, save up and invest in the near future, a OLED 4K television, 60-inch or higher. And, it's coming right around the corner. OLEDs are out, but the non-4K ones, there's 4K LCDs that are out. So once the OLED 4K televisions are out fully, and not just out, but I mean, reasonably priced. So give it about 2 years. That's what I would do. I would save up your money now and invest in that. And that would be a good alternative if you don't want to have the projection option. So if you'd rather that experience being more of a screen, then that would be the way to go too. Or if you really want to be balling, you could just do both. But, that's if you got money coming out of your ass. So there's that. So as far as movie theater experience, now, I know the biggest thing people have problems with is people going to theaters and not respecting other people. They do things that, maybe they don't think is bothering others and stuff. And the list is pretty extensive, but, stuff like, going through your cell phone and, you may not be making any noise, but the screen is pretty bright. Remember, it's a dark room, and it just kind of creates this like pylon of fucking, light of epic proportions that you're not even realizing, and it bothers people, and just like you paid money, other people paid the same amount of money to be there for the experience, and the last thing they want is a pyre of fucking light straight through their fucking visual screen, okay? So cut that shit out, okay? Especially a lot of you motherfuckers who who just, I want the big 5-inch fucking screen, okay? Congratulations, you got the largest cell phone in existence, but, next to, of course, the, old school brick phones, but point being, it's a giant light, okay? So just bring the shit down a notch, or just turn it off, okay? Take care of all your, in fact, and this goes with texting, this goes with, taking a call. I don't care how important it is to you or whatever. If it's really important, you need to take it. Best thing to do is go outside of the theater. It's not outside the entire theater, but outside of the theater you're in the lobby area, and take your call there, okay? It's a movie is not, it's supposed to be about the experience. Just like if if you go to a theme park and you go because you want to go for that experience. That's why you're supposed to go to a movie for, is for that similar kind of experience. Just like we were talking. Me and Admiral have talked about this before. There's a movie theater in Alamo, Texas, and this movie theater, let me tell you. This movie theater is pretty badass because they actually have a lot of rules that are old school kind of rules. They have ushers that stay in the actual theater, and just to give you an idea, first off, the doors from the inside are not locked, but from the outside they are. As soon as the previews begin, and that's how it should be. Because no offense, but if you're, yeah, I've been there when I've showed up late. Okay, I'm not saying that I'm above that. There have been very rare times, because I'm very stickler when it comes to movies, and I'm always about being on time or being early. But the fact of the matter is, if you're coming in halfway through the credits or when the credits are almost over, you're 5, 10, 20 minutes late, then just go back, get your money back, pick a different time, come back a different time. Just don't interrupt people, because that's what you're going to do. You're going to interrupt people while they're trying to get into the experience of the movie, because the experience begins when the trailers do. A lot of people have this thing that they think, the trailers are just for fucking around. No. The preview bullshit before the trailers start, the advertisements and that's when you do your bullshit, not when the previews start. When the previews start, you that's like as if the movie was already started. That's when it begins, not when the movie starts, but when the previews start. So get that right, people. Yeah, so they lock it from the outside. They have ushers in there, and the ushers are there, so if anybody's breaking rules, they're almost pretty much zero tolerance. There's certain exceptions that they'll, let you go, they'll let you slide or what have you, but bottom line is, if you're an obnoxious ass, you're fucking gone. And you will not get a refund, you're out the door. And that's how it used to be back in the day. You probably, if you ever seen those old Looney Tune cartoons and they had the Bugs Bunny as like an usher holding the flashlight, or some random schmuck with a flashlight swinging it, and he points it in their face and, get the heck out of here or whatever. That's basically what ushers were. That's what their job were. It wasn't just cleaning up when everybody leaves the theater. Ushers had more of a responsibility of making sure that people were enjoying the movie. And if there was any problems, they handled it. That's why they had the flashlight. Let's say, somebody was not feeling good or feeling sick. They could come over there and say, hey, is everything okay? If they weren't, they could quickly go get like a manager or get, whatever needs to be done. That's what ushers were there for handling shit while the movie is going. And we don't have that anymore. Luckily, this theater does, which I think is badass. And I think